Greetings, Fire Chargers, Darkblade here, and this is part 2 of my reading this Tofugu article on sequential voicing. It was written on August 14th, 2018, and the author is Kristen Dexter, and the, what is it called? The illustrators for all the graphics you see are Aya Francisco and Winnie Liu. Now, previously I got to about here, so I'm more than halfway through. This is Devonta, copulative compounds, and the image shows Yamakawa mountains and rivers versus Yamakawa, which is just a mountain river. Another factor that blocks sequential voicing, they say, from occurring is Devanda. Devanda is the Sanskrit word for pair. Speaking of Sanskrit words, do you think that the Sanskrit loans that were introduced into Japanese like 1,000+ years ago would have been vulgarized and therefore do undergo this sequential voicing, unlike more recent loans from like English? And that's exactly what these words represent. And have two words coming together to form a single compound word. Devanda compound words more lessly translate to adding an and between them. English examples of Devanda are pretty rare because we tend to break them up into second words, but here are a few. They use bittersweet, surfly, sleepwalk. The and shows the relationship between these two words in the copulative compounds are equals. If it helps, think of the and as also and also. Better and also sweet, sleep and also walk. In linguistics, this is called a copulative compound. And the idea it wants us to get to memorize is that when two or more words come together to form a devanda or copulative compound, the result does not undergo this sequential voicing. By the way, if there are any Sanskrit speakers or scholars watching this video, let me know if I pronounced that devanda word correctly. It's hard because it doesn't follow, because it has a combination that English phonology doesn't allow for, really. Now they want us to show some example. I want to go over this example because it was literally just in the graphic. You are talking about mountains and also rivers. You use the word shanchuan, and yes, I am reading that in Chinese characters by their pronunciation in Chinese, and it doesn't do this. If you change mountain is modifying river, and the and relationship is gone. Consider a few more examples. Shiro kuro becomes shiro kuro. Black becomes black and white. By the way, if you're wondering how to say these characters in Chinese, it's bai and hei. I don't know if I got the tones right. White and black are equal, so they don't do it. Yiro and se means color in Chinese. Shiro becomes Irochiro. Iro and Kuro becomes Irokuro, which refer to fair-skinned and dark-skinned respectively. In these two compounds, the first color is whitish and the second color is blackish. They do not equal, so they do. This Oya, this ko equals Oyako. Okay? Parents and child are equals. More like they're being grammatically treated by this phrase as being on an even field, so this sequential voicing doesn't happen. Sato, ko, satogo, li, and what is it called? Z. By the way, the Chinese character li has a couple different meanings. Li can be used as a preposition to mean in. For example, 他在超市里睡觉. He fell asleep in the supermarket. Anyway, he is sleeping in the supermarket. Li can also be used as a unit of length, referring to 500 meters in Chinese. This idea of a li is also of length is also present in other parts of the sinosphere. For example, in Korean, it is the phrase samcheonli, which means 3,000 li, is found in both the South Korean anthem and used to be in the North Korean anthem as well. Village child means foster child. Foster is a type of child. They are not equal, so they do untaku. And tahata means plus fields equals and fields. By the way, the reason why I bleep that out is because they're saying that this tian character here means and this is muki hata ke equals muki batake wheat. A field is made of wheat. They are not equal, so they do unzaku. You can also use tian for field, well, at least in Chinese, which means, and since tian is a Chinese character, then I guess you could say the Chinese meaning for it is by default always the most accurate meaning. And this is kirai, suki kirai, like, dislike equals likes and dislikes. In fact, I've seen some examples of words in which this middle, you have like this character with okurigana followed by another word, but when the first word when the first component has okurigana, which results in being the middle of the entire the overall compound, then you can just omit it and have it be implied okurigana. Next, this is kuwazu kirai, not eating, disliking something before trying it. This should be clear. Not eating something but still disliking it isn't actually an equal relationship. They're happening in order to make the thing make sense. They're not equal. This is onomatopoeia. And these are examples. Onomatopoeia are words that represent sounds. And Tofuku has a huge article explaining that, so let's start there. Many onomatopoeia are repeating words, stuff like kira kira, doki doki, and van van. But repeating onomatopoeia do not renzaku. Kusu is the sound of giggling or chuckling, and it does not undergo the sequential voicing. In the shiku, the sound of soft crying, and kira kira, which is the sound of sparkling or glittering. Next is kon kon, which is, they tell me it's the sound that a fox makes, even though it didn't appear once in the song. What does a fox say? It's important to not mix up repeating onomatopoeia sounds with repeating compound words, like the ones that we've encountered earlier in this article. Hito and tokidoki are not onomatopoeic. Now there are some prefixes and suffixes. They tell us that adding a prefix or suffix makes it a compound word. There are some prefixes that if you add them, they block the second element from undergoing sequential voicing. And there are also some, suffixes that themselves don't lend themselves to sequential voicing. Here's one. Han, which means half. And just han, half and a half. He said even if this word didn't have the blocking prefix, han prefix, the meaning of the word is half and half. So there's Devanda blocking Rengaku too. And also han is a Congo word. It comes from the Chinese ban, or it might have been more similar to pan in the sort of ancient or early medieval Chinese that was being borrowed from. And next is han plus tama is han tama. This word comes from half portions of round things, balls like jelly donuts. Just kidding, it's an UK. But it can also be used for half portions of noodles and fried rice as well. The han prefix is blocking rendaku from happening in tama. Han sode, short sleeves, you get the idea. Even if this word didn't have what is it called? The blocking han prefix, this second word has dakuten, so Lyman saw kicks in and prevents sequential voicing. Next is this honorific prefix, which appears almost all the time. So we have o plus hashi equals ohashi. Honorable plus chopsticks equals a polite way to say the word chopsticks. O tearai is a way to say restroom. Mi kokoro is a polite way to say spirit. In fact, this character also means heart, this word. Next is mai. This prefix is also of Chinese origin, etymology. Mai tsuki, it becomes mai tsuki. The Chinese pronunciation is Mei in modern standard Chinese. This is Mai Toshi equals Mai Toshi. Every year, Mainian. Next is Hito. Hitokuchi equals Hitokuchi. Now, this is actually the native way to say one. The Chinese derived way to say one is Ichi. One mouth equals bite gulp. Ichi ha becomes ichi ha. One leaf equals one leaf. Hito ha. Sorry. Hito ka ke. I hope I got that right. One plus piece equals fragment, and it not one piece. This is the native way to say two. And here is a proper noun. The example it gives us is a proper noun. Kata, which means one-sided. Kata ho is kata ho. One plus side equals one side, and I'm pretty sure that ho is also a Congo Chinese derived word. Katakana equals katakana, which are one of the writing systems. If you have heard why hiragana does rendaku, but katakana does not, this is why. Kata is blocking this sequential voicing from happening. Kara, this character which refers to Chinese related concepts, as does kan. So I think this is from the Tang dynasty. Kara kasa. That means China umbrella equals a paper parasol. Kara plus Koromo equals karakoromo, ancient Chinese clothes. Karakura equals a Chinese ritual saddle. Next is shiro, means white. So I get in lemma form it's shiro, but here in this form that it's using the prefix form that's in this example it's shira. And in this one, white plus child equals soft roe. For those of you who don't know, roe is fish eggs. White plus waterfall equals this type of noodles. Next, kuro plus kami equals kuro kami. So kuro plus ko equals stagehand. Kuro plus, what is it? Kosho equals kuro kosho. Black plus pepper equals black pepper. And I also suspect kosho of maybe being a Congo word. Now let's take a look at resistant suffixes. Okay. This is pensaki becomes penebs. Ubisaki, this means previous or tip. Fingertips, ankles, toes, ass. Next is string or cord. The pronunciation is kimo. Koshihimo, waist cord equals kimono cord. Shoulder strap is, what is it? Katakimo, and beach is this character. Sunahama is sandy beach. Yokohama is toponym. Hime meaning princess. My Hime equals dancing girl. And this is also this. Smoke, dirt smoke, and dirt. Tide. Chetsu, I think that might also be, what is it called? Another Chinese loan. Anyway, how much more of this article are there? And now this is the opposite of the previous suffixes. These suffixes are in love with sequential voicing. They're the word for flower, bathtub, and I don't know what this word means, or this one, or this one. But I know that this Chinese character means box. There are also some common mistakes. Even without these rules, speakers are able to intuitively know when to write. For example, it's the three beautiful little pink pigs, not the pink beautiful little three pigs. There are elements of an R case in languages, in this case adjective order, that we internalize and know instinctively after a while. For example, raw oyster. There are some tricky words. For example, this raw oyster, sheng something. Okay, I'll give up on trying to read it with Chinese. Nama and ka should be namagaki, but isn't uncommon to see the unvoiced form written. And now the word for sushi. So that's all for this video.